Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Yes, I did say black because today we're talking about all things Met Gala 2025, super fine tailoring, black style with a focus on the black dandy. So we got to get into it, guys. Before I do start, my name is Vanessa. If you like fashion, style, all those things, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to start making a lot more content sometime soon. So, get ahead of the game, like get on the channel so you know when new stuff's coming. And yeah, basically that. Okay, so again, today we're going to be talking about all things Met Gala 2025. But before we get into it, I want to talk about who really spurred, and the origins of this Met Gala, where this is really coming from. Obviously, there's so many people that are an inspiration for this Met Gala, but the Godfather. Let's talk about it. Andre Leon Talley. Andre Leon Talley, if you don't know, he was basically a godfather of fashion, one of the greats, just impeccable style, elegant, just held himself in a way that not many people do anymore, and has been responsible for some of the biggest moments, biggest fashion spreads, biggest moments in magazines, biggest moments in general in fashion. So let's do a little recap of Andre and who he was real quick for people who don't know, for the people in the back. The people in the back that don't know, we got to give you a little info, okay? Andre grew up in Durham, North Carolina, and he was raised by his grandmother, Benny Frances Davis, a domestic worker at Duke University. The origins of his fashion inspiration really started in the South, and by seeing a lot of his family and his friends and just the Black community he grew up around at Sunday service, and just the experience of going to Black church and the impeccable style of Black people going to Sunday service. As that expanded, he started to look into Vogue and everything, but his origins really started with Black style. Andre then went on to study at Brown University with a major in French literature. Then he was accepted into an apprenticeship under Diane Vreeland, let me get her name right, at the Met, and that's really where it also all comes full circle. It's really cool. From there, Andre worked for several fashion companies such as Andy Warhol's Interview magazine, Women's Wear Daily, and the New York Times, making connections with notable designers such as Saint Laurent, Karl Lagerfeld, and Manolo Blahnik. He went on to become the first Black senior editor at Vogue in 1983, and then creative director in 1988, working closely with Anna Wintour to revolutionize Vogue magazine into the 21st century and anchor it as the mainstay of fashion worldwide. And yes, I did dress up for this video because Andre would probably want me to. And Andre, again, is the Godfather, and you got to do what Andre would tell you to do. So I tried. Now let's get into this year's theme, which let me just make sure I'm getting this right. It was super fine tailoring Black style with a focus on the Black dandy. Okay, I'm going to paraphrase Monica L. Miller here. She was the co-curator of this year's gala. She also is author of Slaves to Fashion, Black Dandyism, and the Style of Black Diasporic Identity. I always mess up that word, so I was careful this time. Again, I am paraphrasing, but a Black dandy is someone who decides to study art and fashion and ways of presenting themselves in an intricate way to present themselves to the world in the way they want to be seen and not the way others are going to perceive them. This year's exhibit took an introspective look on Black men and Black people and how they use fashion as a passionate tool to confront and combat racism and stereotypes that are often used against them. Think the Harlem Renaissance of the 1920s or the zoot suit of the 1940s. This, of course, ties in with this year's dress code being tailored for you. Now, while that is a broad theme and you can really take that interpretation in any place you want as long as it's tailored, of course there was the undertone of the Black dandy, which most people respected, I feel, but of course there were some who decided not to do that. So let's get into these looks, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry guys if the lighting changed a little bit. I had to recharge the camera because I was talking too much in the intro. Who would have thought I was talking too much? Okay, so let's get into these looks. I went ahead and scooted over so you guys can see the looks. Oh, you can also see Lewis back there. Yeah, I got the Lewis Hamilton one of the Met Gala issue Vogues. Black and white, black and white. Okay. Let's get into the first person I'm going to talk about, though, which, Lewis, you're going to wait a little bit. I'm going to start with Coleman Domingo. He is a staple in the fashion industry. I know he's an actor, but we see him on every red carpet slay. So I was very excited to see what Coleman was going to come up with for this Met Gala. Let's start with his first look, which, I mean, it's the same look, but he had something on top of his actual look that he was wearing. Well, they're both looks. You know what I mean. Okay, let's start with this cape. I thought the cape was really beautiful. I love the color. He said this blue color was his mom's favorite color, which I thought was really, really sweet. He also said this was a tribute to Andre Leon Talley, which, you know, already steals my heart because Andre loved a cape. He loved a moment. So I thought that was really, really nice. I also love the bib detailing. I don't know if that's the appropriate term, but to me, it's like a bib detailing on the top. It has like really intricate gold detailing. It looks like some crystal situation, a little bit of diamond, and it's just a very regal royalty look, which Andre loved. So I really thought that was a nice tribute to Andre and just to his mom, and he said his ancestors. So that was really nice. He then took off the cape and revealed another look underneath. I forgot to mention Coleman is wearing Valentino. This is all like custom Valentino looks. I thought it would be a little bit stronger, which it's funny. I'm saying all this, but I'm like very similar to him in the black and white situation and polka dot. But, you know, I thought he would just gone like a little bit, like pushed it a little bit more. But I think it's really great. It's like a tribute to the zoot suit. It looks good. I love the polka dot tie that he's wearing. How it's like a scarf. Oh, where did I go? And we're back in business. Okay, so yes, I really did love the polka dot. I love the polka dot like scarf tie. I think that's a really nice touch. I love the plaid. Is that like a flower? Looks like he also has like a flower corsage, which is really cool. Again, I thought Coleman was going to do a little bit more, but he gave us 2 looks. So, and none of the other co-chairs did that. So in my book, he kind of won, you know, in terms of staying on theme, giving us a moment. Let's move on to the next co-chair and talk about Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton? Okay. Lewis is wearing Wells Bonner, which is a notable Black British designer. I think he looks great. He was paying tribute. I think I wrote it down over here. Who was he paying tribute to? It says jazz great, Cab Calloway, and the style born of the Harlem Renaissance, which I think he did really, really well. I love this cream look. It's so classic and like just, I think the hat was by Stephen Jones, like the beret, just regal, classic. Sorry, my desk, I'm too close to my desk. Just giving like regal, classic. Again, I do see the inspiration of the jazz great that he was inspired by. I love the shoe. I'm wondering if the shoe is Roger Vivier or if that's also Wells Bonner. It gives Roger Vivier just a little bit with the buckle situation. I love the shells coming down off of that tassel. And I know like they have some significance. Yeah, okay, here we go. The ancestral beads and freshwater pearls shine with garnet colored diamonds, eternal amulets. Okay. And then the color ivory denotes purity and status. This is what his stylist Eric McNeil said on Instagram. I think it's a great look. It's a great way of doing a tuxedo, but staying on theme, playing into the dandy, the jewels, the rings. Can I have one? He also stuck to his style, which is that tailored for you aspect of it. He didn't go too far outside his comfort zone, but he gave us a look. So congratulations, Lewis. I think you did a really good job. Okay, let's also, I need people to know who Lewis Hamilton is, okay? Like 7-time world champion, F1. People are just saying like athlete, F1 driver, 7-time world champion. Okay. Let's move on to A$AP Rocky. If I can find A$AP. A$AP, I need to find you A$AP. A$AP Rocky is wearing his own line. I believe it's called, AWGE, or maybe it's like Aji. I'm hopefully saying that right. He said in this Vogue, like the Vogue behind the scenes, I saw his online, and he said he was doing like a tribute to the Marmot jacket, if I could speak, the Marmot jacket, which is like really known in New York. People love to wear it. And usually the Marmot jacket is like, it's just, you know, a one zipper, kind of just zips up, it's very casual. Now what he did was elevate it to like an evening look and make it look like a double-breasted blazer. That part I thought was really cool because when I first saw it, I was like, okay, a rain jacket. I mean, it did rain on Met Day, so I was like, okay. But I do love the aspect of making like an everyday jacket into an evening jacket, elevating it, but still paying tribute to your home, to New York. I think that's really cool. It wasn't my favorite. but I do like that aspect of it. And that he's wearing his own design. Like, that's pretty cool, He also collaborated with Louis Vuitton for the shoe, and you can't see it, but on the back, it had some writing on it. I'll have to, like, zoom in or something to see what it said, but I thought that was a nice touch. He also carried around this umbrella, which was, giving very, like, Harlem Renaissance, kind of black dandy. That was a nice addition to the look. I didn't think it was, mind-blowing or anything, but it was very much to ASAP, at least this new era of ASAP, which is a little bit more refined, a little bit more pulled back a little bit, but with a little bit of sparkle on it. So I think he did a good job. I loved his hair too. I thought the hair was really well done. I would have wanted more, but that's okay. He gave to the assignment. He what am I trying to say? He gave. He didn't give everything, but he gave. So, okay. Now on to our next co-chair, Pharrell Williams. Okay, so my thing is, I do like Pharrell. I love his music. I think he's done a pretty good job at Louis Vuitton as the menswear. I think he's the menswear creative director, or is he just creative director? I can't remember. But I didn't love his look, guys. I didn't love his look. Maybe I am being a bit too hard on him because there was some like other designers there that didn't really follow the theme that much, but helped other people, with their Met looks. And apparently he was doing that. I think he helped with some of the girls from Blackpink. He also dressed, I think, Sabrina Carpenter. Didn't love that look either. Okay. It wasn't what I expected a co-chair to be wearing. I mean, it's a nice, really nice blazer. I think he said it was like 15,000 pearls on that jacket. So you can imagine the amount of time that went into creating this piece. I'm sure it was like very intricately done. It looks beautiful, but it didn't pop out, didn't stand out, which is unfortunate. Maybe if he had done the pants in a similar pearl, that would have been a lot. But I just think the juxtaposition between the beautiful, intricate pearl jacket and then those black pants, it just it made the pearls fall flat, which was really unfortunate. So it wasn't my favorite. I'm sorry, Pharrell, but yeah, it was my least favorite of the co-chairs. I think I covered all the co-chairs. I wasn't sure. I guess I should have known Rihanna was going to come because ASAP was like the co-chair and everything, but she hadn't turned up. So I was like, okay. She came a little bit later and revealed her baby bump, which was really sweet. I loved her look though. I thought she looked great. I mean, an ode to like the zoot suit. I love the hat, polka dot tie, like almost like it kind of gave like what was it? A few years ago, we had a theme. And I'm blanking on the theme, but there was a lot of bustles. And I feel like this jacket is so cool because it like deconstructs where the back sleeves, or like this, where would be the front sleeves, are now back sleeves and create like a bustle on the back. That's deconstruction done so well. So I really love that. I love the pinstripe. And then, of course, she's working that baby bump. It looks great. She looks great. I don't know who's she wearing. Let's see. Oh, she's wearing Marc Jacobs. Well, she looks great. I think Marc Jacobs did a really good job on this. The way Marc Jacobs tailored this bustier bodysuit to this woman who's pregnant, like, okay, so other people, no, you have no excuse for not tailoring correctly because he tailored this to this pregnant woman and it looks fantastic. So, claps for Marc Jacobs, claps for Rihanna. Next up, let's talk about Tessa Thompson and Prabal Gurung. Oh, I love this. I love it so much. Just, first of all, the hat. I love that a lot of people were wearing this like kind of Willy Wonka-esque, like, I mean, I know obviously it's an ode to like, the 1920s, 1930s, Harlem Renaissance and all that, but like it's also kind of giving Willy Wonka fabulousness and I'm loving it. Hers looks like it's sequin, which so good. So we have this like suiting, which the tie looks like it's leather. I'm not sure if it is, but it's giving leather to me. And then we have this like hourglass, fantastic dress, like shirt dress that bubbles out. I love it. The sleeves have like ruffles. We have the shirt suit is cream with black accents on the ruffling. And then the shoes are these like high pointed booties with a black sock. I love this. I think this is so good. Also, again, it's tailored to her. So she's very much in the theme while still doing the tailored to her look, not just in it actually being tailored, but also this being her style. Tessa always comes out and shows out, and she loves like an over exaggerated avant-garde moment. So I love that she went with that while still keeping to the theme. I think it's just fabulous. And the hair is so good too. I love it. I love it. Okay. Also, wait, I also have to mention, she had a fan, and the fan had Andre on it. Andre Leon Talley. I thought that was really nice. I really love that. Kim, okay. She's done worse at the Met Gala. She's done way better at the Met Gala. So this look, I'm not going to drag her for, but it's definitely an in-between. And it's definitely, I don't find it on theme. I don't find it on theme. She tried to do the Willy Wonka hat, giving a bit more cowgirl than Harlem Renaissance. The leather, like the whole thing, it's like giving Western to me. With the croc, like I don't understand where that ties in. She tried to do like the pearls as like a waist belt. She tried to do the pearls like a waist belt situation. It's just, it doesn't work. The jewelry's pretty. That's nice. Well, it's better than her wearing Marilyn Monroe's dress and ruining it. So there's that, but no. Then we have Doja Cat, and she is wearing Marc Jacobs as well. Yes. I thought this looked really cool. I really actually enjoyed this. I don't usually love Doja Cat's looks. They're a little bit like avant-garde for me, and I think that's great for her. It's just I personally don't identify with the look. I'm not like, oh man, that speaks to me. This look I thought was really great. She mixed together the avant-garde with the theme and with her, and I think this is the first time I've actually been able to see her and not just the look on the carpet. So I thought that was really cool. The bodysuit is a tribute to the Zoot Suit, so I think that's really nice. But then we also have a bit of, I think that's like a tiger print on the front, and I think that's really cool. It's like that, I think she said it was like an ode to mother Africa, so that's great. And then obviously Doja Cat, she always does a little nod sometimes to the cat part of her name. I love the earrings. I don't think they're over the top or like take over the look. She has a nice rose brooch. I think it's a nice look. And then the boots, I think, finish it off well. I think they're like a nice heavy, because the shoulders and like the bodysuit is so heavy, we did need a heavy shoe to finish it off. So I do love the platform Marc Jacobs signature look. I wonder if they tweaked it and made it even more like intense. I don't know. I feel like maybe I think that's like actually a Marc Jacobs staple, but I think it looks really good. I think she did a great job, and she's like the best bodysuit of the night. We're gonna see some other ones, and I think she did it well. She actually stuck to the theme and did a bodysuit. Some people just did a bodysuit, and I was just like, well, okay. We have to talk about Jodie Turner-Smith. She turned it out. Okay, that was embarrassing. I loved this look. Like, just perfection. I loved it so much. This look was by Burberry, which I wouldn't have guessed actually, but it's like a leather coat dress. She looks like the best, like most beautiful Willy Wonka situation going on, but like obviously, to the Harlem Renaissance. But oh my gosh, that hat, first of all, like the color, everything about this is stunning. First of all, the hat. Can we just talk about the hat? Like 10 inches high, just gorgeous, pinned perfectly, sitting on the side of her head. Magnificentness. Okay, I don't know if that's a word. But this leather coat, the draping on this leather coat, we've seen a lot of draping on leather I'm going to say in the last like maybe 6 years. Is it 5 or 6 years? I also, note like Zendaya, and I think she was in Balmain when she wore it to Dune. That's kind of when we saw the resurgence of like draped leather, and people have been doing it well, but like this is one of those moments. This is the Zendaya doing Balmain leather moment. Like this for Jodie, like this is a thing. This will be remembered. It is beautiful. It is tailored to her. The color, this rich burgundy, like, and the collar on the top, I just love. And then she has like a cat suit underneath, which I didn't even notice because the coat I'm just so like enthralled by, but It's a great look. Zendaya, because obviously we got to talk about Zendaya. Zendaya looked really great. She's wearing this Louis Vuitton look, this custom Louis Vuitton look, which I believe was inspired by both Diana Ross and Bianca Jagger. I thought we'd get a bit more from Zendaya, not gonna lie. I don't know, maybe just like, I don't know, a little something extra. It's like an all cream suit. The hat looks great. It's very beautiful. I think she looks beautiful. I think that is the basis of this look. It's a very streamlined, polished, interpretation of the theme, which I still really liked. But yeah, I thought we would get a bit more. So I was a little bit, not hugely disappointed. I thought she looked great, but I just thought it was something that anybody could have worn. And usually Zendaya's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Saying that, actually two people, I'm going to say Marc Jacobs had a very similar look to Zendaya, and so did Anna, I think her name is Anna Sawai, which is not a bad thing because, hey, the more the merrier. Let's have fun. I think we're getting out of that culture of like, oh my gosh, somebody wear the same thing as me, or like people pitting against who wore it better, So that's okay. But I think that was bound to happen when you wore something that was a little bit more clean, classic cut. And I know you guys are gonna be like, well, Lewis Hamilton wore an ivory like cream suit and it was pretty simple, but it had some intricate detailing. It had that shell detailing. It had the beret. It had, it just had elements that kind of gave it that, dandy look. This one I just wasn't as convinced by. So that's my thoughts. Then we had the icon, the legend, she is the moment, Diana Ross. Okay, first of all, even though they were singing Ain't No Mountain High Enough, I had no idea that Diana Ross was gonna come out. I was so impressed. She hasn't been to the Met Gala in like 22 years, guys. I was just in awe. I think a lot of people were. I have to figure out who she was wearing, but I saw that she had on this gorgeous cape, and on the cape was like all her like children's, like, and her grandchildren's names like embroidered on. It was a Rihanna moment. It was fantastic. I loved it. She just, with the feathers and the sequin, and she's 81, guys, coming out here with that, yes, serving look. So Diana really just stole the night. I thought she looked fantastic. It was kind of giving to me like an ode to all like the old Hollywood Black actresses, and also a little bit of Josephine Baker. So I really love that. Keke Palmer. Keke's look, it was different. It was not my favorite. I have to say it was not my favorite. I really wanted to like it. Something about the juxtaposition between the black pants and then this cream like waistcoat dress just wasn't working for me. I just didn't love it. And then adding on like the headpiece with I think it's like feathers. And then I don't know what that is in the middle. Is that like a fringe, like a pearl fringe? I think it was just too much going on. Maybe if we took off like two things, then it would have worked a bit better. Yeah, we could have done better for our girl. So that part I didn't love. So yeah. Next up we have Doechii. I thought she looked great. This is a custom Louis Vuitton look. Fantastic. I loved, so good with the Louis Vuitton waistcoat. I don't always love a monogram. Sometimes I think it's like a little ostentatious, but because it's the Black Dandy, I thought this worked so well because, to Dapper Dan and like all those guys. So I thought it worked so well. And then with the checker print, like long shorts, we have the burgundy, like long socks and that loafer. I thought it was great. I love the afro and then the cigar to top it off. It's really cool. It looks really great. So Doechii definitely on my like top best dress list. Now let's talk Tracee Ellis Ross. She is wearing Marc Jacobs. At first I was like, I don't know how I feel. But Marc Jacobs has been doing this recently. A lot of like these like cartoonish, over exaggerated proportions looks, and they are very like high fashion, so you kind of have to like get behind it a little bit because it is innovative. So if anybody's gonna pull it off, it's gonna be Tracee Ellis Ross. She is serving the look. It's hard to carry a look like this off, and she did it really well. I do love the red with the hot pink, with the pale pink and the white. I think all the colors work really well together. And then that hat, She looks great. I love the bow on the back too. It's fun. Like, you really have to just like have fun with this look. Don't think too hard. Just have fun. I think that's what she's doing. So I really, really do enjoy that she's just not taking fashion too seriously and just leaning into the designers and their, their vision, Another favorite look of the night is Lupita Nyong'o and Chanel. I thought she looked amazing. It's giving me a moment like she had at her first Oscars when she had that beautiful light blue dress on. This is like more of a minty blue, but it looks beautiful. I love that she's giving the masculine and the feminine, and Chanel doesn't always hit the mark. But this time they did my girl right. They did my girl right. She's kind of giving a little bit of the Harlem Renaissance, but then this cape, which is almost like kind of pimp like, but like angel pimp. I don't know, but she looks great. I love that hat. Just fantastic. The color, I don't know who chose this color, but I want like my whole wardrobe in this color. This beautiful mint blue, just in the drape of that cape. Fantastic. Like, best dress, definitely top 5 served. You have Sabrina Carpenter wearing Louis Vuitton. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about Doja Cat earlier, about the bodysuit. We saw a few tonight, and Pharrell was kind of behind a few of them, and I didn't like them. I just didn't think they said much. I think Sabrina looks a little bit like she's in the circus. Don't hate me. I love Sabrina Carpenter. I think she's amazing. I love her music. I think she's really cool. I just didn't like this look, okay, guys? And I don't think it's serving her. I think she said something about, like, Pharrell. She came to, like, her meeting with Pharrell for, like, what she was going to wear. And he's like, oh, you're short. No pants. What? That rubbed me the wrong way. I just didn't love that. But, yeah, I don't see much inspiration besides the fact that it's tailored, and then it has tails on the back. I'm upset for her because I think she could have given like a real moment. And I saw her like after party look, and I actually like that better. And she was wearing pants. Okay, Pharrell, she was wearing pants, and she didn't look too short. So that's my opinion. I love this look. I think it's great. I love the mirror detailing on the trousers and the blazer and the checkered button down with the ruffled tie, with this necktie. It just is fun. And I thought it was like, I don't know why. Well, obviously, Alessandro Michele left Gucci. So I don't know. In my head, I went straight to Gucci. But of course, we have a new person at Gucci. But this is Miu Miu. And I think it looks great. Also, I should have known because it's like ugly pretty. But I think it looks awesome. And even though, I don't know about the brown belt. I think that's the only thing I would want to remove. Maybe go for, I don't know. It still kind of works, though. Yeah, maybe take off the brown belt. But the rest of it, chef's kiss. I think it's so good. Let's get into a man that knew what to do, knew the dress code, and came through. Shabuzzi is wearing, who is he wearing? He's wearing Robert 1, I believe. Yes, I'm right. Okay, yeah. He's wearing Robert 1, and he really wanted to blend like Western wear with the black dandy, and he looks so good. I love this idea of like this crop suit jacket with matching pants and this like wavy texture. We haven't really seen this type of texture that much on the red carpet. So what am I doing with my hand? But we haven't seen a texture like that a lot on the red carpet. I really like that, bringing that back. It almost gave it like a 3D effect. Love how the sleeves go out into like a train on both sides. I think that's beautiful. The flare hits the ground on his pants just impeccably. But my favorite part of this look is these turquoise beads. These turquoise beads across his torso are just like immaculate. I am obsessed. It's like armor and beads. I just love it so much. It's just like, we weren't seeing this. Like, he really did tailor it to him. Yet he's still in touch with the black dandy. Yet he's still in touch with his Western side. One of the best dressed men of the night. Personally, I think he looks fantastic. And Robert 1 did him well. Like, and that bow tie at the top. I love this look. I am obsessed with this look. I will remember this look. Thank you, Shabuzzi. Thank you, Robert 1. Let's talk about a controversial look. So we have Sydney Sweeney. Okay, the woman looks great. She's a beautiful woman. She looks great in her dress. The dress is beautiful. I don't even know who it's by. I'll put it on the screen. Okay, so I would love to hear your guys' opinion. I do not think she was on theme. A lot of the internet does not think she was on theme. I know what she was trying to do. The fact is, Coleman Domingo is making his directorial debut. He is making a film about Kim Novak and Sammy Davis Jr. and their love story, which sadly ended where they could not be together because of racism and all of that. Now, she wanted to do a nod to the film. So sorry, I'm holding this mic weird. Okay, so she decided to give tribute to Kim Novak from, I think the film is The Legend of Lyra Clare, and it's a very similar style dress and everything. It's not anything to do with the dandy. I mean, I think this is the problem. Some of the women I saw, like, I think it was Nicole Kidman and Serena Williams, were like, oh, we're giving a nod to the women that supported the black dandy, which I was like, I feel like that was just a scapegoat to say, I just wanted to wear a pretty dress, you know? I don't know, that maybe you guys feel different. Let me know. Again, she looked gorgeous. Serena looked gorgeous, you know, Nicole Kidman looked gorgeous. I think that was a little bit of a cop-out to not be on theme. We have to talk about Damson Idris and his F1 moment. So he pulled up in like an F1 car, which cool, like, okay, advertised the movie. Like, we haven't seen advertising for movies like this in a while. I mean, I know Barbie, they kind of did it. So I guess that was that moment, but we haven't had it in a few years. So I thought it was really cool that he came up in an F1 car. He came up in an F1 outfit. He had like 20,000 Swarovski crystals. Sorry if I said that wrong, on his helmet. That's another level of wealth there. Another level of wealth. The look was by Tommy Hilfiger. I thought at first that was just a look, and I was like, okay, you know, the helmet, fun, not on theme, but okay. But then he pulls it off. He had some people pull it off. It was like a moment. You know, we always have at least one moment, Lady Gaga type moment at the Met Gala. So he pulled that off to reveal a suit underneath, which was really fun. It was, you know, to me personally, it was a bit more 70s-esque. I didn't fully see, like, some referencing of like the Harlem Renaissance or anything like that. But you know what? I'm going to cut him a break because he tried and it looked good. It was a rouge suit. It fit him pretty well. It had some like Tommy tartan on the side with gold panels, and you know, it was fun. It was fun. So I'll give him that, you know, not fully on theme, but we had to talk about a moment. Men rarely have moments at the Met Gala, so we kind of gotta talk about it. You know, we had to. Let's move on to Lauryn Hill. First of all, Lauryn, thank you for being there. Thank you for being on time. If you know, you know. And thank you for looking fabulous. I thought she looked fantastic. I thought it was so much fun. I loved that it was in butter yellow. It looked gorgeous on her. Of course, butter yellow is like the it color of spring, so I don't think we even saw anybody in butter yellow on the carpet actually at all. So that was kind of fun that she did that. I also love the butter yellow umbrella that she had with her because it was raining. And so I thought that was really cute. I love this ruffle that comes up like on her side and behind her, almost looks like a flower, like blossoming and blooming for spring. It was like femininity blossoming out of a masculine suit, and I love that. I think she looks fantastic. I love that burgundy tie and the white button up underneath. Oh, and then of course that Birkin bag in cerulean blue, which I thought was so fun. If you guys know Devil Wears Prada, the cerulean, you know, it's cerulean, you know, maybe she knew, maybe she didn't know, but I thought that was really fun. Like, hey, okay. Lauryn, are you a fashion girl? Are you a fashion girl? Okay. So that was it for my Met Gala review. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm so sorry the lighting left us. I've been filming for a while. I need some water. I need some food. I need some sustenance. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed making it. I said this last year and I didn't do it. But maybe if you guys really like this video, if you really enjoy it, maybe I'll make a part 2, but just like let me know who you would want to see in the part 2 so I would know who to put in there, because like, you know, I'm a little lost. There was like 300 looks, so yeah, you know, let me know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will be seeing you in another one coming very, very soon. Bye guys.